And why we can feel like it's a lot harder to move forward and take action right now is because things start to slow down. So I'm not saying don't take any action, because even little actions every day can make a big difference.
You're listening to Life Aquarian, a soul's journey through the human experience. And now, here's your host, Leanne.
Hi everybody, it's Leanne with Life Aquarian, and I am coming to you with a Mercury Retrograde survival guide. This isn't just about surviving. This is about thriving and how to really work with this energy. Ooh, did you hear that confirmation? How to really work with this energy. I think I should probably start with addressing what Mercury retrograde is. It occurs when the planet Mercury moves slower than the Earth around the sun, giving off this illusion that it's moving backward. But it's really not. So whenever a planet retrogrades, then the things or the themes that planet rules, so in this case for Mercury, it's communication, travel, technology, those things can slow down as well. I'm feeling myself slowing down in this. So I can start to feel this. I start to feel it before it even happens. Miscommunications. Did I say communication? Mercury rules communication. Miscommunications can be ripe during this time. People misunderstanding what you're saying, typos on emails, sales pages, marketing copy. And so this is a really great time to, since it's slowing down, we too have an opportunity to kind of slow down. It's encouraged. Slowing down is encouraged right now. Double checking everything. Allowing ourselves to take a beat and really process the information that we are consuming. And it's a great time for not being offended by what other people are saying too. Because like I said, miscommunication can be ripe during this time period in any form of communication there is. If you can just have a sense of humor right now, that's going to get you far. This isn't an ideal time to do any sort of launch or start anything new. And we have to live our lives. We have to continue doing all of the things. However, when planning out your launches, if you have the flexibility or maybe even the foresight to plan around Mercury retrograde, that's going to be even better for you. Because Mercury's like a little trickster. And so it's a Murphy's Law kind of situation, where anything that could go wrong might. So anything that you can do to just make sure that you're being very detailed, that you're being very thorough, and that you try not to take things personally or too seriously. So this is a great time for reviewing your systems and seeing how have you been doing what you've been doing and where there are opportunities to do things better. Because if there is an opportunity to do things better, this is the time where it's going to reveal itself. And usually it comes in the form of some sort of mistake or a mishap. And instead of getting upset when these things happen, I encourage you to look at it as opportunities to really bring your A game going forward, because there's always room to improve. And I'm always looking to do that. That's something that is very important to me. I don't want to get stuck in a rut. I'm not one of these, oh, that's how I've always done it people. That's how I did it last Tuesday, but now it's Thursday and I want to do it like this. That's me. That's me. because I'm always seeing how things can be better. I'm always seeing how things can be improved. And if I can improve something, I'm going to. If I can be more efficient at it, I'm going to do that. If I can add more value to something, I'm going to do that too. So this is a great time for looking at your processes under that lens and seeing what you can do to tweak things and make things even better. One other little thing about Mercury retrograde is things from the past can come back. Situations you thought you dealt with, relationships that you thought were over or long gone, or maybe you would never hear from this person again. All of these things start coming out of the woodwork. It's a great time to be revisited. It's a great time to be revisited, and it's a great time to revisit other things. So if there's something that is still kind of lingering about that needs your attention, this will probably be the time when it's going to get it. While historically, Mercury retrograde has been known for being a pretty bad time to sign contracts, to really signing contracts, any sort of legal agreement, expecting travel delays. It's funny. So my travel has been delayed more during Mercury retrograde than any other trip. So anytime I take a trip during Mercury retrograde, that's when I seem to experience all kinds of crazy delays, weird things happening. Maybe a flight attendant doesn't show up for a shift, and so that delays the whole plane or cancels it altogether. And then there's no other way out to get out of the airport. I have slept inside of a rental car service inside the airport once because my flight got canceled. I got put on multiple flights. They all got canceled. And then there were no cars. There was nothing to get me back home. And I was only like 4 hours away from home. Just crazy stuff like that. But when you can just prepare for these things, like, you can't stop your life. You still have to sign leases and mortgages and things like that if you can't avoid it. We still want to go on trips. We still want to have fun. But it's just being aware. So how do we do this? Well, one way is to build in extra time in everything that you're doing. Just give yourself a buffer. And when it comes to travel, take things to entertain you. That book you haven't had time to read, those files, maybe you need to organize the photos on your phone, things like that. Just have a strategy, have a plan. When I get extra time, I will. And then if it's something that you can take with you, plan on doing that. So the thing about retrograde periods, retrograde, RE, any of the words that have RE in them, redo, revise, restructure, you get the point. This is a perfect time for all of those activities. So this is a really great time to do what I call a systems audit. So whether you realize it or not, you have systems in your life and in your work and in everything you do. We could call this a process, but this is an opportunity to reflect on all of your habits, your routines, your methods, and see where is there an opportunity to tweak something. Is this working for you? Is this not? This is the time. This is the time. It reminds me of, if you've ever worked in food service, my very first career was as a food server. A waitress is what we called it back then. And when we were slow, it was a great time to restock everything. My first job was in a Mexican food restaurant in Texas. And so one thing you can expect is lots of chip refills and salsa. So just like making sure that we use these slow periods to just make sure that we had everything ready for the next rush. Use the downtime to set you up for success when things start moving again. And why we can feel like it's a lot harder to move forward and take action right now is because things start to slow down. So I'm not saying don't take any action, because even little actions every day can make a big difference. But we're not going to feel that momentum that we may have had going into it. That's how it usually works for me. I know in this recent Mercury retrograde, I was full steam ahead, blowing and going, feeling so inspired, all the things I wanted to do. And I just woke up one day and I didn't want to do anything. Nothing. I mean, nothing. That includes having fun and all the other things. Just nothing. It's like all my motivation was zapped. So what do we do instead? Well, of course, we have to take action every day. There's stuff that needs to be done. So I'm not saying to just sit around watching Netflix. However, it is one of the best times to go inward. And if this is happening at the end of the year, what an incredible time. Because then you have a whole year to reflect on. I mean, you can do this. You can do this whenever you want. It doesn't have to be the end of the year. But I love it when it works out that way because it gives you an opportunity to look at your full year and see how's it going? What did you really like? What were the things that made you feel good? What were the people that gave you energy and added value to your life? What were the foods that made you feel good? And what were the habits and activities where you were feeling your best? Are you doing them now? Did you stop? Did you replace them for something else that's not making you feel as good? These are the kinds of questions you can ask during Mercury retrograde, and I encourage you to do so. It's a perfect time for taking a look at that stuff and getting real with yourself so that you can find out and determine what are you going to continue and bring with you when this cycle is over. Common feelings right now can be confusion and misunderstandings. What I was talking about earlier with the miscommunication. This happened to me right when Mercury started going into retrograde. I said something that I thought was seemingly neutral and not any sort of a big deal at all. And the person I said it to got offended. And I was so confused. Confusion, that's another common feeling. I was so confused. I was like, what did I do? And that was my reaction. That's really what I did. I was like, what? Did I do? How? I offended? What? That whole thing that I just did, that is a perfect illustration of the energy right now. We're just, maybe you're pressing buttons that you're not meaning to press. And the opposite of that is true. Perhaps your buttons are being pressed. But again, when we're aware of what's going on, we can be like, oh, okay. I understand. 'Tis the season. 'Tis the season for miscommunication and these little misunderstandings. But we don't have to get all caught up in it. We don't have to engage. We don't have to make it become a thing. We can just be like, oh, Mercury. So it's so cute. Now, the other piece of this is technology. Not just technology, but even equipment, mechanical things, computers, appliances, cars, issues with all of that stuff. This is a time that is ripe for issues with all of those things. And the beauty in this is you have an opportunity to see where something is broken or in need of repair. That's essentially the same thing. And you can do it. And you can get it done. And you can move on with your life. This is the prime time for backing up your data. And I am listening to myself say this and knowing that I'm talking to me right now. Back up your data. This is the time for it. If you need to update drivers, go do it. It's also a great time to declutter. And I'm not just talking about in your physical environment, although that's great too. I mean, decluttering your files, decluttering your phone, the photos, all of this stuff. Start going through what's not getting used and let it go. Let it go, because I'll tell you what, outer order, inner calm. That is my mantra. Outer order, inner calm. And I'm just one of these people that thinks too much of anything is just chaotic. It just feels chaotic to me. I want to be a minimalist as much as possible. I'm not quite there yet, but I want to at least have that mindset where I'm only keeping things around me that I love, like, or use. Anything else doesn't have a purpose, does not have a place in my home. So this is a really good time to start getting things ready to take to the, what is the word I'm looking for? Thrift shop. Take your stuff to the thrift shop and give it away. If you aren't using it, there is someone else that's going to love it. I feel like our things, even though not everything is a living thing, I feel like everything has some sort of vibration or energy. And when your things aren't getting used, they're sad. It's like Beauty and the Beast. You know, when Be Our Guest, when basically all of the plates and utensils and all of the stuff, they're just talking about how it's so unnerving for a server who's not serving. So everything has a purpose, everything has a job. And if it's just sitting on a shelf or stuffed in a drawer or in the back of the cabinet, it's kind of sad. And that's low vibration. Really, you will raise the vibration of your space by, and I'm going to say gifting, by gifting those things to other people. It is one way to raise your vibration, and to do it quickly is to declutter. And I'm not one of these people who's going to tell you to pull everything out of your closets and do it all at once. That's not how I do it. It's way too overwhelming. But even if you could just set your timer for 15 minutes, do a drawer. Do a shelf in your bookshelf. Something like that. This is a really great time for that. And then cleaning out, organizing your files. Again, little at a time, even 5 minutes a day helps. But this is a great time to do that. No matter what happens, just remember, you're not going to be able to control it. But what you can control is how you react to it. What you can control is how you prepare for it. Even if it's nothing. Even if there are no delays, but really working with the energy. Even if you're just saying, okay, great. This, you know what? This really is a good time for me to go within or declutter or get my tires rotated. Even if you just use it as, it's that time again. It's that time of the year where I just do a little maintenance. It's a little maintenance time. And I think Mercury retrograde happens 3 times out of every year. So instead of being afraid of it, you can just see it as, it's like spring cleaning, no matter what time of the year it is. It's maintenance. It's just a little time, do a little maintenance. It's nothing to be afraid of. How's Mercury retrograde treating you? Comment down below. Tell me all about it. Let's inspire each other. We've got this. We can do this. And if you'd like to stay connected with me, I'd love to connect with you. You can find me on Facebook, Life Aquarian 1111. You can find me on Instagram. I'm Life Aquarian over there. You can email me, Leanne at Life Aquarian, or visit my website to see all of my products, services, offers, what I'm up to, etc. lifeaquarian.com. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Mercury retrograde. We're thriving, baby.